Hi, everyone. I'm Heben.
I'm Tracy.
And welcome to another round with Heben and Tracy.
Ah!
Same.
What's happening in today's show, Heben?
Oh my God, so much is happening.
Tell me all about it.
So first off, we're going to do a very special guest animal corner. Who's filling in your shoes, Tracy?
Joining me in the Animal Corner is a friend of ours and writer, author, etc., Laurel Braitman.
Mm-hmm. And then we have such a great guest today. Who is it, Tracy?
I don't know if you've ever heard of a young lady by the name of freaking Queen Damn Latifah.
Oh my God.
But she's gonna come in the studio.
Oh my God.
We're gonna talk about many things, including but not limited to her greatness, her excellence, and her new work spreading awareness of heart failure, which is super important for women of color.
Excellence on top of excellence.
Exactly.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Today we have an actual animal expert to do a guest animal corner.
Not just Googles?
Not just the Google. This is somebody who went to an actual accredited university. And somebody made her prove that she knows stuff about animals before she went to go talk about them in public.
We don't have that.
Never had that. So I'm super excited. We are in the studio today with Dr. Laurel Braitman. She is a historian, anthropologist of science, author of Animal Madness, which is a great book. And she knows a lot about parrots, which are one of my favorite animals, bittersweetly one of my favorite animals. We'll talk about why.
Oh my God. So dramatic. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Parrots. Why do you know so much about parrots?
I'm fascinated by them. I've always been, I hate to say this, don't tell anyone, a little bit bored by birds.
Oh my God.
I know. My mom is a birder and she would drag me to look and I was just another brown-faced tit test thing. I was so not interested in them. But the parrots were different because the parrots first are easy to spot. They're freaking noisy as hell. You hear them coming a mile away, before you actually see them. And they're so colorful. So for a bad birder, you don't miss a parrot. So I loved them in the wild for that. And then I grew up, my family had parrots, but I had a kind of contentious relationship with my family's parrots.
What does that mean?
Do tell.
Well, parrots they can just be jerks. And they...
What do you mean? I have no idea what a parrot is like.
Well, it's sort of saying what's a person like? A parrot can have a million personalities.
Touche.
Makes sense. I get it.
So when I was born, my parents had a scarlet macaw named Pepper. And Pepper was just not psyched that there was a new person in the house. And he knew the Mexican hat dance, cucaracha, and he would run around and he would attack me when they weren't looking because I think he was very jealous because as soon as I appeared, he had to be in a cage and kind of be more away from the family. So Pepper
can you blame
had it out
Pepper?
for me. No.
Pepper had to live in a cage.
No, and poor Pepper, he was going to live until he was 70, you know? I'm here's this young
Parrots live
child.
till 70?
Parrots live a really long time.
That's
Forever.
crazy.
Pepper is still around somewhere. Actually, my family gave him away because he became too difficult. And they gave him to the Santa Barbara Zoo. And as a kid, I would go. I thought this was just the shit. There was a Parrot Island at the zoo. And we would go once a year with the class. And I would go and I'd stand in front of Parrot Island with all my little classmates and be like, hey, guys, I can talk to the birds. And I would just start doing the Mexican hat dance. And then from out of the fake forest on the island would come Pepper dancing and singing along with me. And none of these kids knew, that I knew this.
It's just magic.
Yeah, this is the best story.
This is the beginning of my swindle of letting people think I know a lot about animals.
Lifelong swindle.
Exactly. It's been super productive.
Laurel can talk to parrots.
Yeah.
So we met you at Pop-Up Magazine where you told an amazing story of parrots and the law and parrots sometimes testifying in trials.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with parrots who witness.
Tell us. How did you even how did you learn that that's a thing that happens?
That's a good question. I'm not sure that I ever learned it was a thing. I just sort of assumed that if you have a talking animal, so whether it's a parrot who can talk or a chimpanzee who can sign, right? And you do something in front of that animal, I just think, we talk, and at least like all the kids' books and everything, all the animals talk, and it's like really cute. But I actually don't think we want to live in a world where animals talk.
Wait. You know what? I've never thought about that before. Because they could snitch, right?
They could snitch. You know who sees me naked more than anyone else in my life? My dog. My dog.
How can you tell what the parrot is seeing in that situation?
Good question. Well, I don't think you can know that a parrot has witnessed something that they shouldn't until afterwards, when they start talking about something inconvenient that they've witnessed. And that's what happened with this parrot, Echo. Like, as the story goes, and I have to say that because I actually wasn't able to find Echo. I believe all the people I talked to, but Echo was a severe military macaw, so green with red shoulders, and he supposedly belonged to a crime boss in New Orleans and witnessed a crime. And he showed up at this animal sanctuary called Heck Haven in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And the woman who runs it, Susie Heck, says that her friend brought him and said, "You just have to take care of this bird for a while. He needs to lay low. we got to protect him." Bruh. Yeah. And
she's on the lam.
Exactly. And she didn't know why. So she wasn't supposed to tell anyone that she had the parrot in her care, and she didn't know how long she'd have him. And she was just told his name was Echo. But within minutes, she realized he had a huge vocabulary. He was like a great talker. And then after she'd had him for a little while, she began to notice that, like, at night when she was in another room, she would hear like a baby crying. And it was really intense. Like,
and there was no baby in the house, right?
There was no baby in the house. And she'd rush into the room where Echo was, and then he'd quiet down. She'd see him like swinging on his perch.
That's creepy.
But yeah, well, even worse than that, like sometimes he would cry, and then he would imitate a thwack sound of like being hit. And then he would cry more on silence.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
This is intense.
Super intense. Sorry.
It's okay.
But so what she believes is that he was a witness to child abuse. And the animal rehabilitator who brought her the parrot said that his testimony was used to help convict the crime boss who went away.
That's wild.
For child abuse. Yeah. I couldn't find the trial, so I'm not sure. But what I do know is that Echo wasn't the first parrot to overhear a crime and then get into trouble for what he heard for repeating it. And I was, like, in that pop-up store, I was able to find a bunch of other parrots who had witnessed things, like witnessed murders.
There's no law that says a parrot or an animal can testify.
Well, yeah. Okay. So they can't be a witness. So
So you
because
just
to be
said-
a witness, you have to be a person.
Okay.
So what they can be is evidence.
In a category of media that records things.
Exactly, which is so messed up because actually parrots have judgment and emotions, and they are not a tape recorder. And actually I think that makes them more reliable, in fact, that they're intelligent. But under the law, because they're just seen as property, unfortunately, there's no way to get them to be a witness now. But there are people in the country working to get personhood for non-human animals, particularly parrots, chimps, dolphins.
Yeah.
So we could
Wait,
be
what
living...
does that mean?
Oh, like a category for animals under the law so they're not property. So right now, like whether you're an elephant or a dolphin, you are a thing under the law. So if there's a category for non-human personhood, then we could have better protections for some of these animals. Because
What does that change?
well, for example, like they could be their own defendant.
What?
Y'all, I did not steal those bananas. That's not me on that tape. I didn't do it. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ah.
You joke, but I went to like the head of the Non-Human Rights Project and asked about this, and he was like, he's used kids in cases who were like 3 years old. Like an adult chimpanzee, like definitely is more intelligent than a 3-year-old child, and should be able to say, "I did not take those bananas, sir."
Oh my gosh. This is fascinating.
It's crazy. It's
So,
crazy.
I mean, like, what would that look like in court, though? Like, would you actually have, like, a bird or, like, a chimp in the witness?
Sir, I didn't
In
have
the
a suit.
witness stand. I know.
The dry cleaning. Yeah, totally.
Like, do you swear them in? Do they believe in God? Like, why
Okay.
are they going to swear on the Bible? Like,
Funny enough, the swearing them in is the other sticking point. So like a few lawyers that I talked to for this piece, they were like, well, the other problem besides them not being persons under the law is that you can't make them take an oath. So you don't know if they actually have like a compulsion to tell the truth. And my answer to that is like, well, what about humans? Like, I personally don't believe in like the Bible, but like for me going and taking that oath, like, is that really compelling me to tell the truth? Like, not so much.
Right.
People lie on the stand all the time. And they can be taught to quote unquote parrot things, you know? Like, maybe more.
Shaking my head.
Sorry.
I'll allow it.
That was great.
What do you feel like you've learned about humans from studying animals?
Everything good.
Everything good?
Everything good. Like for every like sad, traumatized like parrot story, there is a story of some woman, I know one in particular in Santa Barbara, who like rescues parrots and has turned her kitchen over into like a place where they can tear up lettuce and eat credit card paper. Not eat it, but you know, parrots love to like dig in with their beak on rolls of paper. And she plays videos for them. Which is
Videos of like other parrots?
Well, I didn't know this until I saw this at her house. Yeah, parrots like watching videos of other parrots of their same species on TV.
Oh.
Is this like a... What are they doing with this visual stimuli?
I mean, who knows? It could be parrot porn.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, definitely. There's bonobo porn. There's a zoo in Germany actually that made a bonobo porn channel for the bonobos. No joke.
Germany, like,
yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
But they also have like panda porn for pandas who won't reproduce.
Oh my God, I want to watch panda porn so bad.
I've learned so much, you guys.
Will you please have me back for another Animal Corner?
Panda porn edition, yes.
But honestly, there's so many people out there who have like seen the terrible things that have happened to animals and then decided to like make up for it themselves. And then also just like learning how to treat other people better from other animals. Like it's such like a cheesy kindergarten thing, but I really have learned to be a better person for my current dog. Like he just assumes that every human is someone that's going to be good to him until he learns otherwise. Like I've never met a more open-hearted human or other animal in my life. It's like so brave and good.
What kind of dog is he?
He looks like if a fruit bat had sex with an Akita. He's like a curly tail, kind of like Akita front paws and curly tail, but way smaller and has a fruit bat face and ears.
He sounds adorable.
He's super cute. You can interview him.
I would love to.
Great.
That's so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Dr. Laurel Braitman, this has been a joy. Where can people find you and your work on the internet?
Oh, you can find me at laurelbraitman.com or on Twitter. I'm a terrible Twitterer, but I like it. It's just like a speedy river I can never seem to keep up with.
Fair. That's a fair
It's at Laurel Braitman.
And Braitman is Braitman.
That is correct.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Don't you also have a book?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I am a terrible capitalist, just like a parrot. It's called Animal Madness, Inside Their Minds, and it's everywhere books are sold. Oh, and there's a bunch of parrot stories in it.
It's wonderful. It is fantastic. And next time you come back, we're going to be talking about animal porn.
Yeah. Hopefully you're going to be interviewing an animal.
About his sex life.
Yep.
I am trying very hard to be cool, keep my composure.
You got this, Tracy.
I'm known to turn into a huge dork when I'm near a hero of mine.
Drink more.
You know what? Pause.
You right.
Power through it.
All right, I can now do anything. We are so excited to have the one and only Queen Latifah in the studio today. And we're really touched that she's here to talk about somebody very close to her mom. We just had my mommy on the show a couple of episodes ago.
Oh, nice.
I love my mama too, girl. I get it.
Yes, it's important.
Her mom, Rita Owens, has heart failure, and Queen Latifah has teamed up with the American Heart Association to raise awareness about the condition and how it impacts women of color specifically. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
Welcome to the
me,
show.
ladies.
Okay, I got it out. I'm good.
Nice.
Tell us about your mommy.
My mom is about, a little over 5 feet tall. She's about 5'3", 5'4", and she's cute and she's sweet. She has a type of voice that calms everyone. People like to call her just to talk them off the ledge. No, but my mom taught high school. Taught art in high school. And one day she passed out in school and she was taken to the hospital. And after some tests, the doctor told us that she had heart failure. To hear that is a very scary thing because I'm like, what? where did this come from? My mother's never been overweight, never been a drinker or a smoker. But heart failure affects over 6 million Americans. I mean, it is a huge problem, especially for women and women of color, people of color. I believe we have more of like a 50% higher chance of getting heart failure, from what I understand, for people of color over 40. And that's crazy, especially if it's largely preventable. There is a lot that you can do to improve it. A lot of medications. I mean, they're doing a lot of research on the heart, and also lifestyle changes. So we, as a family, cut down on the salt. So instead of just pouring salt on the food before you even tasted it, all of that was out the window, because salt causes you to retain fluid.
Yeah.
And for people with heart failure, it's not a good thing to retain fluid, because basically your heart can't pump all that oxygen around your body, and you start to hold on to it. It makes it harder to breathe and things like that. So this campaign is also really important because it reaches out to the caregivers as well, not just the patient. And for me, it's like myself, my sister Raven, my cousin Tina, my best friend Tammy, my Aunt Angel, our nurse Anna Lynn, who comes in as well. But for all of us, to surround her and make sure she has the support she needs. And there's a lot of people out there that are taking care of loved ones. And that can burn you out as well. If you're not, you can wear yourself out trying to take care of someone else and not take care of yourself. So,
Whew.
I love that. My my own mom, her mother, my grandmother, has congestive heart failure, I think.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is, congestive heart failure.
And she had a quadruple bypass like some 10, 15 years ago.
Wow, how'd that go?
It went really, really well.
Good.
She has she calls it her pretty little scar. It's like
That's
right
the
in the middle
second
of her
person
chest.
today that
Yeah.
said, I have the scar.
Yeah.
And he had a quadruple bypass too.
But as she got older, she's 89 now, and we had to make the decision to put her in a nursing home because she had fallen to having strokes.
Right.
And she's in like the early stages of dementia. And we did that around the time that I moved up to New York. And I was just like, it was basically my mother doing all of the caretaking. And I was so worried for her because she was so focused on taking care of my grandmother that she was not taking care of herself. She wouldn't let anybody else help her. So I love that that's also a focus of the campaign too.
It is very, very difficult sometimes. Everybody doesn't have the same support system I do, and I'm very fortunate with that. But yeah, a lot of people don't have that same system. And so to reach out and have other people who understand or might be able to even give you resources to help make your life easier is a wonderful thing to have.
How do you make sure you're taking care of yourself while you're taking care of someone else?
It's challenging, but for me, sleep is the most important thing. Sleep is important to me. Breathing, even just like I'll sit on the side of my bed with my mom, and we'll just do yoga breathing. We'll just take deep breaths and do stretching. And, just doing that with her, it relaxes me so much so quickly. And we're both like, okay, we're like zenned out now. We're good. You know what I mean? Because there's so much that's involved in the breath, and whether it's being angry and just taking a second to breathe before you go nuts on somebody, the breath is it's important. And it's hard, but this is the thing. Life is sort of a maintenance thing. You don't just you don't just learn one thing and do it all the time, constantly for the rest of your life and you're good. You have to kind of like check in on yourself and maintain those things or find new things that keep you interested in continuing on that path.
I'm going to breathe more starting today, starting right now.
Yeah, we're definitely a big fan of self-care here. I talk about it a lot.
What kind of self-care y'all do? I don't know what the hell y'all be talking about. Listen. I'm a fan of self-care as well.
Most of our self-care is legal, right?
Oh my God, why would you say it like that?
I thought it was funny.
Don't even frame it that way.
My bad. Most of my self-care is legal.
Okay, wow. Wow. Let's move on.
All right,
what do you think, what is it about...
I want to hear about the illegal part. I'm just kidding.
I have no comment. Why are women of color so particularly affected by this? What are the things we should be keeping in mind?
Well, I'm not a doctor, so I can't speak to any of the medical issues involved. But I know just to look at my family and our lifestyle, some of it may be, part of it is having a sedentary lifestyle. You have to exercise we have to exercise more. Also, eat healthier foods. Take the salt and the sugar down, a notch. I was talking to someone earlier whose family is West Indian, and she just she carries salt in her purse, you know what I mean? And like that's how much she
her
loves
hot
salt.
sauce.
And ketchup. So it's like, you can make those same recipes and learn how to dial that stuff down. I mean, just because we grew up a certain way doesn't mean we have to maintain those exact same recipes like our mothers and grandmothers and whomever else cooked for us. We know we have more knowledge now, so we can adjust those things to work for our lifestyles at this point and what we know about good health. So for me, going out to LA, doing Living Single and all those shows and working out there, that changed the way I ate. Because in LA, you have access to a lot more healthier food. The weather is better, but, easier for like outdoor exercising. But it wasn't so much that as having access to more quick choices of healthier foods. And I think I find that most places, even fast food restaurants, are trying to provide healthier choices.
Yeah.
So we got to actually take the choice, take the healthier choice sometimes. Don't always just go for the burger, like go for the salad or go for the fruit. When you can get chips on the side of something or an apple, get the apple. It's like we have to kind of find some balance with that.
That's excellent advice. So you mentioned living single.
We are living.
Hey.
Oh my
My
God.
girl, you had me. Okay, good to know.
I got you. Arguably one of the most important television shows ever made.
Facts.
Wow.
Facts on facts on facts. I like to describe myself that I am all for living single characters.
Nice.
Somebody tried to tell me I was a regime though, and I was like, hold on, I feel like y'all don't really know me, like the essence of me.
Why do you feel a way about that?
Because I feel like the implication was that I'm kind of like whiny and spoiled, and I was like, I feel a way about this. Like they weren't calling me regime for like the good qualities. It was the way, how somebody like looks at you like, you're such a regime. Don't do that. Don't take that tone with me. Anyway, so there are theories. I believe this theory that Friends was basically a ripoff of Living Single. Have you heard this theory, and do you agree?
Yes. Yeah, but it was true. I believe so. Yeah.
All right, that settles it.
All right.
I mean, but that's not to take anything away from what Friends actually was. I mean,
Right.
I do remember when Living Single was on, and I mean, it was in a newspaper. They asked Warren Littlefield, who was the head of NBC at the time, like, if you could have another show on another network, which one would it be? And he said Living Single. And then Friends came out next. So, yeah, but
The receipts are there.
Listen, we've all kind of borrowed from other shows, though. Living Single, some might have thought, okay, that's a little Golden Girls, or that's a little, we just were the first to do it in the way we did it. And so they, that's not surprising. I mean, no one should be surprised by that.
Yeah, of course.
We of all should not be surprised by that, but at least they took it and made it into something it was supposed to be. At least do it right. Don't rip us and then put out a whack version.
Right.
True.
But you could throw a little buck or two over. Well, no, I'm not gonna have it.
Like a little thank you, a little something. No. Okay. We need refills. We good. The show has aged so well. Why do you think that is?
One thing we were able to do was show 4 different women, 2 different guys who had a lot in common, but were different people. And we celebrated that. And we strive to continue to make that, something really prominent. So people could find some of themselves in the show, even to the point of not losing weight. We had to fight at times. I mean, I never really fought. I was just like, I'm not losing no weight, period. But I'm rapper Queen Latifah, the rebel, so they knew not to even come at me with that. But
Wait, what do you mean? What was the pressure about weight?
there was times the word came down. That's how it would sound. The word came down that, you might need to lose a little weight. And I'm like, let the word come down here and tell me to my face that I need to lose some weight. But I would fight against that because, as far as I was concerned, we represented what real women look like, especially you trying to do a story about 4 women from Brooklyn.
Right.
this is what four women from Brooklyn look like. And I remember, I would tell the writers, like at the end of the season, I would say, y'all need to go to Brooklyn for the summer. You need to go to Brooklyn and y'all need to come back with a Brooklyn vibe, because this is where this is set, you know. We would catch some stuff, you know what I mean, because all the writers weren't from Brooklyn, of course, but, you know, some stuff just didn't make sense. And we wanted to try to keep a certain vibe. You know, Brooklyn just has a certain vibe and New York does. So we wanted to keep that injected into the show. But, you know, we felt like it represented people. And unfortunately, any of the more serious topics, a lot of that stuff is still around, you know, and people are still trying to make it, you know, get their careers going, deal with life while they're dealing with career. So, I mean, it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was hilarious.
So the jokes are still good.
So funny.
The jokes are still good.
Yes.
I do want to talk a little bit about Bessie, which I rewatched the other day, and it's still incredible.
Oh, good.
First of all, it's one of those American stories that you don't hear about. Which is like an incredible singer who's in an open relationship, and she's a queer woman, and she like did not take shit from anyone.
No,
so
hell no.
just even on a basic level, what the story's about is incredible. But the movie itself, I found it. First of all, everyone looks so good.
Just
Like everyone's skin is glowing.
So moisturized.
The lighting is well done.
Yeah,
there was
a
definitely
lot of
cocoa butter
moisturizer.
on set.
Lots of shea butter.
I seen it. But I was really intrigued by that moment in the movie where when Bessie's auditioning for things, she has to take the brown bag test, the brown paper bag test.
Yes.
And then when she's auditioning other people to join her troupe, her roving performers group, she gives them the brown paper bag test, but asks
In reverse.
yes, if you're not darker than this bag, you can't be in here. You also have your own makeup line.
Yes.
I'm curious about what your experience has been as a not quite light-skinned. I don't know. What, are you medium-skinned? I don't know.
You know, I've
How
been
do you
trying to figure
self-identify?
that.
How do you self-identify?
Honestly, I've been trying to figure that out, because when somebody calls me light skin, I'm like, what?
Nah.
Oh my
And then
God,
they try
I do
to,
too.
No,
but
Tracy,
I'm not
you are
quite
not in this
dark skin,
conversation,
and
you
I'm
see?
like, oh.
But just in general, I'm curious about your experiences in Hollywood as a darker-skinned woman.
See, now I'm darker skinned. I don't know what the hell I am. See,
not
that's why
quite
Hollywood
light.
is confused, because I can't figure it out. You know? Some people in Hollywood are very evolved, advanced. They get it. And a great many absolutely do not, are draconian and archaic minded, word using, you know, cave people. With no imagination and a whole bunch of money. So
What
this
a
is what you
combination.
do. And their hand right on the button that's green. You know, this is what you deal with. And, you know, we've dealt with that all through the years, but, you know, it's not something that has ever stopped us. We've just found other ways or found other people, you know, who get it, or created things from scratch ourselves, you know, whenever. We just find other ways to do it, and you link with people who eventually get it and get you or trust you that you know what you're doing. Unfortunately, still a lot of those people in positions of power, and we need more of us in positions of power behind the camera, in the studios, in the buildings.
Yes.
That ceiling is still there in a lot of ways, and we do have to fight against that. But more importantly, we have to support each other and telling our own stories, and financially even supporting each other, you know, because if we do that, then we don't have to rely on, you know, big Hollywood studios. But it's something that I'm sure anyone of color has faced, whether you are Asian, whether you are, you know, Latino, you've dealt with, you know, some white guy in the building who said something that was so ridiculous or crass, you know, and it's almost like something that you go through in Hollywood. You've never heard conversations like you've heard in Hollywood. I mean,
Please tell me more.
You've never heard such explicit things, you know, and it's not all racial things. Some of it is just sexual. You're like, what the fuck am I in? You know what I mean? But you get used to it because that's just how people can be. And you just play it cool and keep it moving. But I mean, that's just how it is. I also find that some of the most forward-thinking, creative people in the world are there, and so those are the ones who you wanted to see keep getting, you know, promoted. And they've given me jobs, like people who started off as at the bottom finally got the position of power to green light it, and they remembered me like, okay, Queen Latifah is the one for that. So, you know, I've seen progress, and I've seen, you know, people just with the, you know, the worst mentalities in the world who want to just keep it a boys club and keep it a, you know, a white guys club in a way, you know, unfortunately. So, but that's just boring. You know, it's like, I don't feel like anybody is trying to take away from anyone else. I think this is all flavor, and it all makes the pot more interesting, the meal more interesting. You know, either you're going to change with the times or things are going to go around you. That's what's going to happen. We have too many mediums to apply ourselves to at this point to have to just strictly rely on what's happening in H-Town. H-Town West.
Yeah, don't let Beyonce hear you say that.
She'd be mad as hell.
I want to talk about Hollywood forever, but you are a very important lady with many more important things to do, I'm sure. So we are going to switch over to our last segment. This is our rapid fire questions segment. It's called
Oh boy.
It's called Pew Pew Pew. These are finger guns. And the pew pew is a rapid fire.
Pew pew.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, pew
Tracy.
pew. What finger guns are you busting? I don't bust them guns. I bust real pew pew guns. You know, like give me some real ricochet.
Okay. I'm gonna work on my finger guns. In the meantime,
So cute. Pew pew. I wish people could see you with your little
I know.
index
I hate
fingers
having
in the
to-
air.
Oh, bless your heart,
Pink
Tracy.
nail
I
polish.
know, and it's my fault because I thought of the name for this segment. Anyway,
sure did.
It's
I know.
adorbs.
Very random questions, very quick. Number one, what's the first thing you wash in the shower?
The first thing I wash in the shower? My cooter. I go straight on down, baby.
I've never heard that answer to that question.
What the hell do people wash?
I wash my hands first, and then I wash my right arm.
I mean,
Okay.
no,
You know what? Let's keep it moving.
I soak my lovely rag with a wonderful French scented, no. I delve into my woman parts and gently massage. No, I'm just joking.
Work up a slight lather.
Well, you know, I like the suds down there, and then,
Yeah.
you know.
I respect that. Have
I
you?
don't think I've ever been asked that question. It's so fun.
Welcome to the studio.
All right, fire away.
Have you seen Hamilton?
Yes.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh my gosh.
Or alternately, what's your favorite song?
Well, I'm gonna go with "Satisfied" as my favorite song, but they all so good. But just for now, man, that's not even right. That's not even right to ask me that.
We asked
so
the tough
sorry.
question.
Let's just go with Lafayette for now.
Okay. Acceptable. We will
Okay.
accept that.
You know, I wanted to say the King, right?
Aw.
And Aaron Burr.
So everybody's your favorite.
And yes.
You know what?
Damn.
Everybody is in.
I'm going with Lafayette.
That's allowed. That's allowed.
He brought me my French soap, which I gently love.
I think we're out of time. Okay, so you've been spared the weirder
That was
questions.
a fast rapid fire.
I know it's because we ran our mouths a little too much earlier because you're so interesting. I know.
Good questions. Thank you so much, ladies. This was so much fun.
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Where can the people find your work and more information about the campaign?
RiseAboveHF.org is where you can find more information. And hey, come on, take the Red Steps Challenge. We're asking people to, you know, take a walk and put on some red socks, go for a little walk or kick it at the house, but take a picture of you and your red socks and go to riseabovehf.org to post it and share it with the hashtag RiseAboveHF. We're really just showing support symbolically for all the people out there dealing with it, but also physically by just getting out there and getting some more exercise, which is one of the ways we can prevent this. Let me see you in your red socks.
I'm
Take
gonna
that
do
selfie
it.
and let's see what's going on with you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so
much for having me.
It was so fun.
Really appreciate your time. It's time to buy some rounds.
Baby, come through. You deserve rounds tonight.
Never gets old, Tracy. Never
It's
gets
been a
old.
while.
Yes.
Yeah, switch it up more often.
Who are you buying around for, Trace?
I'm very excited to announce to everyone that I now listen to a total of 3 podcasts.
What?
Not including this one.
Oh my God.
Naturally, it's a true crime podcast.
Oh my God.
So if you like Sword and Scale, you should take some notes because another great true crime podcast that I love is called Case File. And it's hosted by a guy in Australia whose name I don't know. He never says his name on the podcast, I don't think. I just realized that. That's interesting. But since he's based in Australia, a lot of the crimes that he covers are based in Australia. But there's also
there's a lot going on over there.
between the serial killers and like just the crazy animals and
Yeah, how y'all
spiders that can
living?
kill you at any point in time.
Yeah.
We should interview an
It's a whole
Australian and just be
island.
like, how?
First of all, this. But yeah, it's a whole island full of
Danger.
Danger.
Yeah. So he's never going to run out of material.
Yes.
And it's basically like just him like reading about the story or telling us about the story. There's some archival footage, but for the most part, he's just like a very like good, effective storyteller.
So what do you like about it?
It reminds me of watching Investigation Discovery.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just like story after story. This is going to sound bad.
Yeah, say that sentence. Finish that thought.
There's not
Just say it, Tracy.
They're just very interesting stories.
Oh my God.
And it's one after another.
You can be yourself on this podcast, Tracy.
I know, but I mean, it's just crime after crime, and I love it. Like, I mean, it's a weird thing to say.
Please put that in the pull quote, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, he's got an adorable Australian accent. Oh, also, I like that he has like a really good quick turnaround for his episodes. Like I think there's one nearly every week, just about. And Sword and Scale usually is released every 2 weeks, I think. So if you're addicted to horrible crime stories like me, you need something that you can get. You got to get your fix pretty quickly.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like every time I'm like, I wonder if there's a new Case File episode. There's always a new Case File episode, which I really, really appreciate.
Dope.
3 podcasts.
Look at you.
Look at me.
More death in your
Punch in
life.
the air. Fair. Who's your round for?
So my round is very short, but it affects all of our lives.
Oh, my.
I would like to buy around for well-designed bathroom stalls.
Ooh.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
So for some reason, and I find this to be specifically true of American bathroom design, they have this like little gap
Yeah.
in between the door. So you can like see outside, and
Yeah.
it's just large enough where your eyeball can see another eyeball.
Yeah.
You can make eye contact with someone is what I'm saying.
While you're peeing.
Yes.
It's not acceptable.
So BuzzFeed moved to a new office, and the first thing I checked out was the bathroom stall situation.
Yeah.
Like
The gaps are closed.
the gaps are closed because that's proper engineering. Why would you leave out a few centimeters of crucial, awkward
weird.
moments?
Yeah, it might as well be like a curtain at that point.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it would. I don't think this is like an epidemic where people are like, "Oh no, I was seen through the slots." But I do feel like it's human nature to look where you're not supposed to look.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So obviously it's a problem.
Yeah. I've heard people say they think it's weird that the doors don't go all the way down to the floor.
Also that.
I've used one bathroom like that when we were in the BuzzFeed LA offices. Their doors went all the way down to the floor, and I kind of didn't like it.
No.
I wasn't into
Why?
it.
Why?
It was like I
This
was
is
in a
obviously
tiny
ideal.
closet. It just it just.
So you're looking
was
for a
a-
more luxurious stall experience.
Not a luxurious style experience per se, but like, what if something happens and like the door, I can't get it open? In the other situation, I can just crawl underneath it.
Oh,
If
sorry.
you had to.
I mean, I guess.
it's either that or stay in a public stall for the rest of your life until somebody comes to get you.
At an old job I had a rough day, so I went to cry in the bathroom, as one does.
Right.
And I was the only black person there. So my coworker comes in. I know her ass can see me because I have sandals on.
Oh, she saw your feet. She knew it was you.
I'm the only brown feet in the office. If I had a full fucking situation, could have cried in peace. So that's my counter argument.
Okay. I see you.
So awkward being black. Like, why is
And
this
scene.
happening to me? Oh, man. Anyway, shout out to well-designed bathroom stalls.
Haven't we did it again?
Tracy, we made it.
Hey. Thank you to all of our amazing guests. Laurel Braitman, please come back. I had so much fun talking about animal stuff with you. Thank you. And then to freaking Queen Latifah. I still cannot believe
I know.
that she
graced us with her presence.
My God.
Yes.
And shout out to the Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
You got an air horn any today, Heben?
I don't, clearly.
It makes me so happy. This episode was produced by Eleanor Kagan with editorial oversight from Jenna Weiss-Berman and production help from Julia Furlan and Meg Kramer. Thank you to Paul Ruest at Argo Studios. Thank you to our amazing, super talented musicians, Jean Gray. You can follow her at Jean Greasy. And Don Will of the Almighty Tanya Morgan. You can follow him on the Twitters at DONWILL. Thank you to Heben.
Shout out to the Tracy, who makes me laugh literally every single day.
Aww.
It's true.
Oh my gosh, the newsletter is so lit.
Yo!
I actively love our newsletter. This is the only newsletter I think I've ever subscribed to in my life.
Where I actually open the emails.
Yeah.
So if you want to sign up for a newsletter, go to BuzzFeed.com/anotherround/newsletter and get your life. Also, check out our other BuzzFeed podcasts like Internet Explorer and The Tell Show.
Yes.
Lots of fun.
Hit us on the buzz.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook at Another Round. Email us anotherround@buzzfeed.com and rate us on iTunes if you like the show.
Yes.
Only if.
If you don't like the show,
go
maybe
eat,
try
pray,
church.
Go eat, pray, and love. That's what I was going to say.
That too.
Also nominate us for a Nobel Peace Prize. Thank you.
Drink some water. Take your meds. Call your mom.
Yes.
Read a book, y'all. I'm reading a book now. I haven't done that in so long. I forgot that it's fun.
Y'all should have seen the face Tracy made. Eyes full of wonder. I'm reading books. Golly gee.
Pet a puppy if you can find one. Ask first.
Ooh.
No? Yeah.
No, I'm imagining the scenario where you don't ask.
Oh, yeah, that would be rude.
I like to pet babies without asking.
No.
Just kidding.
Do not do that. Bye.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Come
Love
back
you.
next week. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is to go on Vine. There's a hashtag that's just like parrots of Vine, and it's just vines of parrots like talking and playing peekaboo. Have you ever seen a parrot play peekaboo?
It's so awesome.
It's beautiful.
There should be a whole thing of like, you know, we all watch parrots mimicking people, but there should be a whole thing of like people mimicking parrots.
Tracy's on a new wave.
Oh my gosh, what if there's a
Innovator.
What if there's a Vine for parrots somewhere and there's a hashtag that's human the Vine?
Yes. That'd be amazing.
They'd be walking and saying stuff.
I know, exactly.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.